No.
Everybody's got a price for the $1 Million Man.
Who's that kid? Nick. He looks like Beaker from Muppets.
The one on FS1, Nick Wright. Yep.
Yeah. I got something.
That's
for
amazing.
him.
I did not even. I love that.
If I get 5 women and they're all in the same room with me, we're going at it at 110%.
All right, welcome in, everyone. Great start, obviously. First show ever. Eagles talk. This is not lazy booking. Lazy booking will be on a different time during the week. This is Eagles talk with Peter Young, Les Bowen, and of course, I am Rob Brinkman. Lot to dive into. It feels like a while ago, but it was the Eagles' Week 6 game last Thursday night. So we're going to get into a lot of stuff. This is not. So anyway, welcome to A2D Radio. This is Eagles Talk. Download us wherever your podcast, Spreaker, Spotify, Google Play, iHeartRadio, iTunes. Live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, X, Instagram. Each and every week we are brought to you by Baggio's Breads, home of the best stuffed breads, tomato pies, tomato sandwiches. Tell them A2D Radio sent you for your in-store, for 10% off your in-store purchase. Poll question tonight, getting into it right away. Kevin Patullo should be fired or demoted, or the Eagles will miss the playoffs. Take it away, PY.
How can you not think that he needs to be demoted? Like I'm not saying he needs to lose his job entirely. Like they need to get rid of him. They kick him out of the building. But like, it's not good. But I knew this wasn't going to be good. I don't like outside hires. There are certain hosts who aren't here right now that called me crazy for not supporting an in-house promotion. You know, it's not like we've never seen it before, have issues. But like, there's just obviously the O-line isn't great right now. So like maybe you could throw that on there. Like, oh, it's not all Kevin's fault. The O-line's hurt. They can't get it done. Things like that. But here's the problem. The play calling is not good. Like, there's no creativity. No one is getting open. Like, and maybe you want to throw it out there like, oh, it's all on Jalen. It's all on Jalen. But I'm like, and I would put that on him if, like, he was fumbling every other play and he was forcing interceptions. I could look at that and be like, all right, the quarterback is not properly helping the team, right? But, like, if you're watching the tape, like, no one's open. Like, there's no easy plays. Like, the routes are bad. Like, A.J. Brown is, like, dogging it because he looks at this and he sees all these awful routes he's being forced to go out there and do. Like, they're just not doing anything correctly. And he's just overwhelmed. And this is hurting the team. It's hurting Nick Sirianni because he went from having someone like Kellen Moore to where you can trust, you can focus on what you do best, and that's making the big decisions in the game, working on the entire game plan for the whole team rather than having to babysit your offensive coordinator, which is similar to what happened in 23. But I think this is way worse because at least when Brian Johnson came in, Brian Johnson called plays. Brian Johnson was an offensive coordinator at Florida. Like there was a little bit of a finger on the pulse. There was somewhat of a concept of how to call plays in big moments, what to do, and things like that. Patullo just doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know and me and Chucks have had a lot of conversations about this in our group chat where when you've called plays before, you know what to call, you know when to call it, you have an idea of what could work and when it could or could not work. If you've never done that before, how do you know? How do you know when you need to dial up a wheel route? How do you know maybe a crosser across the middle is going to work best? Like instead of it just being like, all right, 4 verticals, let's see what happens, fellas. Like Kevin Patullo calls plays like some high school kid playing Madden. We're just like, let's figure it out. This is going to be fun. Like, he's just not a good play caller. And it's hurting the team. It's hurting the quarterback. It's pissing off the wide receivers. The only person who's happy with the play calling is Dallas Goedert, because Dallas is having his best year. He's probably going to have his most touchdowns, the most yards, and the most receptions he's ever had in the season. And that's guaranteed even if he misses his annual 6 games. So, like, I'm not going out there and saying, well, you know, we can't go out and we can't ever do an in-house hire. I'm not saying that. I don't love it. I'm also not saying that you have to fire Kevin Patullo, but, like, you can't keep going with him because it's just not working. If anything, I'll take the QB coach, Loeffler, the guy who coached at Bowling Green. He's called plays before. He has experience doing that. I'd be throwing his name in there and seeing what he can do. If you don't want to like completely like ruin the relationship and basically admit that Nick and Howie made a huge mistake, maybe you kind of do what Nick did in his first year, being like, all right, these are my strengths. These are my weaknesses. You know who's better at calling plays? Shane. I'm going to focus on and do what I can do. And maybe you have Patullo do other things. But right now...
You have not answered the poll question yet, though.
Yes. I literally have said, yes, you have to demote him. Like, you have to demote him.
That's not the poll question.
Would you...
Is that... Oh, would they make the playoffs?
No, they won't. No,
Unless Kevin Patullo is fired or demoted, the Eagles won't make the playoffs.
Yes, if they keep him in there, they're not making the playoffs because it's just going to continuously go down, 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 down. I'm like, that's what things are looking like. If Kevin Patullo is kept in charge, things are not going to work out the way we expect them to. They're not going to make the playoffs. They're not going back to the Super Bowl. And it's just not going to look good.
Okay, Les, what say you about the poll question? Kevin Patullo, the poll question, however you want to take it.
I think they can make the playoffs without firing Kevin Patullo, but that doesn't really speak to the idea of whether they should fire Kevin Patullo. I don't know. They're 4-2. The offense is not working well. It works in spurts, and then it doesn't. I think there is some inexperience showing there, as PY said. I think they can kind of give him some help maybe with that. Maybe I hope they spent some time this weekend, although you'd never know it from Nick Sirianni's remarks today. Hope they spent some time this weekend going over situations, and maybe it would have been good to do this off of that and get him, a little more grounded in this. It's not like he just sort of flew in here from Mars, though. I mean, he's been part of he is on the headset whenever they call plays over the last 4 seasons and has had input into play calling during that time. So I don't think it's like this guy has no idea what he should do and he's never, you're asking him to reinvent the wheel here. I don't think he's doing a good job, obviously, but I'm not sure that you fire him at this moment. If things aren't a lot better by the time you get to the bye, I would certainly think about what you might do along those lines. But there are other problems. I mean, yes. He is a problem. It is his lack of creativity. But again, as we've said on this show many times, how much of this is Kevin Patullo? How much of it is Nick? It's Nick's offense, Nick's pass patterns to nowhere. I don't know that Kevin Patullo needs to lose his job at this moment, even though I'm not his biggest fan.
Okay, let's everyone take a deep breath. The Eagles are not missing the playoffs.
Yeah. Period.
End of story. I don't care if my grandma, who's been dead for 15 years, is the offensive coordinator.
Yeah. Oh my God, you're the voice of reason.
Well, if they play like they did last Thursday night, they will miss the playoffs.
Yes,
but I don't
100%.
I don't see that. I think you're right. But go ahead, Rob. I'm sorry.
Too much talent here. Now, Are they going to make noise as to, like, do I have confidence they're going to make noise in the playoffs the way they're playing right now? No, I'm not. But we were here just last year. They were 2-2 at the bye, and everyone, the sky was falling. And then they came out, and the only game they lost post-bye was a game that Jalen Hurts had to leave because of a concussion, and C.J. Gardner-Johnson got his ass kicked out of the game, which was shady. But besides the point, he got kicked out of the game. So one of your best defensive players and your quarterback didn't finish the game in the only game you lost post-bye. Now, obviously, this team is best suited to have a week 5, whatever. I think what they start buys last week 5. Obviously, under Nick Sirianni, this team is best suited to have a bye week early in the season because they don't start off well, except when they go 10-1 and then utterly collapse. So 3 things popped out to me watching that football game after a heartbreaking Phillies loss. So number 1 was, okay, you lost the turnover battle for the first time in God knows when.
A little over a year.
8 minutes to go. The offense is cooking. They get in the red zone, and Jalen throws a damn near awful pick 6. It wasn't a pick 6. He got tackled, but the Giants were in the red zone, and they punched it in. You punch that in like you're supposed to, you're down 3 points.
Maybe.
Yeah.
3 points with 8 minutes to go, and I have every confidence the Eagles win that football game.
I disagree.
Okay, cool. I have every confidence they would have won that football game down 3 with 8 minutes to go. Number 2, you lost the battle in the trenches, which has nothing to do with mainly so on the defensive side, because I thought the offensive line was fine, even though Landon Dickerson didn't play.
Oh, I didn't think they were fine. I thought
they were better than the defensive line. The defensive line could not get off one-on-ones to save a lick against the Giants.
Yeah.
A Giants offensive line that is not the Hogs of the Washington Redskins in the 70s and the 80s. It's just not. So to do that, to counter that, Vic Fangio had the blitz to try and rattle Jackson Dart, and Jackson Dart had an answer for every blitz.
Yeah, he was very impressive
with his legs. So defensive line got smacked around in the trenches, which has nothing to do with Kevin Patullo. And Jalen Hurts made an awful decision in the red zone, which has been very uncharacteristic of him over the past 12 months, which isn't on Kevin Patullo. Jalen needs to make a better decision with that football and not turn it on and find a way to punch that in and beat a division rival who you're better than and get out of there without your best stuff. Number 3, the whole game, the number 1 takeaway of the entire game on a big picture NFL landscape is, wow, the Giants hit a home run with their first-round pick in Jackson Dart, and they also hit a home run with their 4th-round pick in Cam Scatterbo. Now, every team in the NFC East has a franchise quarterback. I don't think I can say that about any other division in the NFL. So this division just got really interesting, and I said it.
Yeah.
So
go ahead.
Nothing against, as my manager likes to point out, or a 6 Jackson Dart. Like, nothing against him. Like, he played great. Him and then the CTE boys, the concussion buddies, they did what they're supposed to do. They balled out. Fantastic. Cam Scatterbo looked really good. Jackson Dart throwing it well. Jackson Dart was running all around the Eagles. Like, they couldn't touch him. Like, he looked like Baker Mayfield a few weeks ago. Like, that's how elusive he was being. But I'm not ready after like a few games to say, well, he's the definitive franchise quarterback. Like, he looks good right now.
I've been watching sports a lot of years, and we all talk about that. Everyone's trying to find the it factor. No one can put it in the words, and no one can describe it, but you know it when you see it. Cam Scatterbo and Jackson Dart, that's it. They have the it factor. Whether they put it together and have long, successful careers in the NFL, well, I guess we'll wait and see. But if you want to talk about spunk and it factor, guess what? The New York Giants have a lot of it right now, and the Eagles don't.
Like they had a great game.
That you just said the Eagles aren't going to make the playoffs unless they fire their offensive
I
coordinator.
don't believe Patullo. I don't believe in him long term. I don't believe he's going to successfully put the Eagles in the right positions at offense. Yeah, that's a factual statement. But I also like as much.
Statement. That's literally the definition of an opinion.
If he continues to underperform calling the offense and not putting the team in proper positions, it's not going to be successful. And while the Giants, they looked really good. They did. They had a great game against the Eagles. Congratulations to Jackson Dart. Congratulations to Cam Scatterboo. They played great. But, that's kind of something you can expect from, a young, fiery team that's going to, underachieve its first year. Great win. Is it something that's going to be long-term success? We don't know. This could be a 6-game stretch where they look really good, and then the next 2 years they're cheeks. I don't know that. Just because you pass a little bit of the vibes test doesn't mean it's a long-term thing. We see it with quarterbacks all the time where they go on a nice little stretch and then that's it. It's a stretch. They go absolutely nowhere. Could Jackson Dart be the long-term savior for the Giants? Yeah, sure, maybe. But I'm not willing to bet that after 3 games. It's just silly.
Less rebuttal to anything that I said in my three points about why the Eagles lost the game. Well, notice how in my 3 points I did not mention Kevin Patullo.
Yeah, your 3 points are pretty good. The defense, to me, when I really sat back and looked at it, I think what we all forgot going into Thursday night was, 3 days off. The defense had just played 74 snaps against Denver and 72 the week before against Tampa. And then you lose Jalen Carter going into the game. And then, Quinyon Mitchell during the game. And I think the defense was really in a bind by the second half of that game.
Gassed.
Yeah, and they didn't have any legs. And even Zach Bond looked like he was kind of running in mud out there. And, he's trying. I mean, he's not going to. Yeah, so, it was a bad game for the defense, but I think some rest will get the defense, assuming that Carter and Mitchell aren't seriously injured. Although they lost Zadarius Smith for good today. That's something we're going to have to get into at some point here because
second best pass rusher right now.
That's really a problem for them at this point.
Let's get into it. Right. Do you have any insight on that, Les? Because it's kind of a bombshell. He was playing kind of well, and he was excited to sign with the Eagles, even though he didn't come to training camp, and then he just.
I thought it was a great signing. I had been waiting for them to do something like that, and they did it. And I thought, okay, now things are pretty good. And his first couple games were outstanding. I thought he dipped down after that. He really didn't play a whole lot Thursday night at the Giants, and that caught my attention a little bit. Patrick Johnson got more snaps than Zadarius Smith did, and Patrick Johnson is a practice squad level guy to me.
Marginal.
So that I did notice that, but as far as retiring, I hear that it was just personal reasons. The one thing that bothers me is I kind of thought maybe he picked the Eagles because he wanted to win a Super Bowl or at least get to a Super Bowl. He's never done that in all those years with Baltimore and Green Bay and Minnesota and Cleveland and Detroit. He's never been in the Super Bowl. I don't think he's ever really been on teams that have done a lot in the playoffs. But so he's retiring. So does he think now that, you know what? It's not going to happen here. That would bother me if that were the case. I haven't heard that, but I just wonder if you really think after 11 years in the league that you've got a great chance to go to the Super Bowl, do you retire? I don't know. I don't. It's a bad thing for the Eagles. I can tell you that because even if he wasn't playing great these last few games,
You need bodies out there.
he's a big body, and he's better than a lot of what they have, frankly. And now you're in a situation, I know Howie Roseman hates this. You're in a situation where you have to go into the market with a gun to your head, and everybody knows that unless you're going to really try to limp through this somehow without an edge rush, you've got to get somebody in here, somebody good. I think it's a huge development, frankly, for the team.
Let's get to some comments. Mystic Mythface, they were being dominated physically. There was a chance they win if we punch it in. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Poor tackling, terrible effort by our defense on Thursday. They did miss tackles, which this team hasn't done. I mean,
Right.
I'm not ready to dog them as like giving up or not putting effort into it. I'm just not there with anything about this team effort wise. I think the effort is there. I think they're just a little off right now, and I think it's fixable as I've been preaching patience over the first 21 minutes of this show. Even Jalen looks scared. Instead of fighting for a first, he just slides. I mean, I didn't think Jalen Hurts looked scared in that football game.
I don't think he looks scared, but I do hate that thing that he does, and he stopped doing it for a while, but now he's doing it again. That sit down bit when he sees that he's not going anywhere. I don't think you're going to get killed if you dive forward. It just, to me, it's
Carson
kind of
Wentz thought less.
What's that?
So that's what Carson Wentz thought.
Right. Yeah. But I don't like that. I think that's a bad body language, bad juju kind of thing, especially when you do it a bunch. And when he does it, he tends to do it a bunch, like over and over again. It's not my favorite move.
Jalen never really has good body language, though.
Yeah.
He really doesn't. And
that's a good point.
That's his thing. Like, I still don't know how he missed that 90-yard touchdown pass to Devontae Smith.
Yeah. Just didn't put enough air under it, that was bad. That was really bad.
That's another play. I mean, well, first off, it needed to be a 90-yard touchdown because A.J. Dillon and Tank Bigsby can't catch kickoffs.
Right.
No.
That is huge.
You also shouldn't be having, like, A.J. Dillon is not someone who should be back there. You traded Tank Bigsby. So Bigsby makes all the sense in the world. Like, you trade it for him specifically to do these things. But if he can't do them, you already have two guys on your practice squad who know how to do it. What the hell is Britton Covey and Gibson even doing on the practice squad?
Like, what's there to know how to do, PY? You got to catch the ball.
They're good at it, though. Like,
catching the ball, I could catch a kickoff with these rules.
But why do I have guys who are good returners and solid returners who are just sitting on my practice squad? Like, if you don't trust Tank Bigsby out there on kickoff, why don't you throw Covey out there who can do it?
Yeah.
You brought in Gibson to do it. Like, he's been here for 2 weeks. Like, what's the point?
The Eagles special teams have gotten a lot of mileage out of those block kicks. But outside of that, and the fact that Jake Elliott is back on the beam, outside of that, they're not really very good. They don't return. They don't tackle well on returns all the time. They seem to have a bad return once every game or two. Bad return against, I mean. It's there's a lot going on, and I think overall, this is kind of what you get after the Super Bowl.
Yep.
The Eagles have never had a great season after the Super Bowl.
No.
And it's really rare. I mean, even I looked this up the other day. The Chiefs, the first team in 20 years to win back-to-back, blah, blah, blah. That second year, they weren't nearly as dominant a team as they had been the first year. They were 11-6. They lost a game at Denver with Russell Wilson quarterbacking, in which they scored 9 points. Mahomes threw a couple picks. It was, they had, and the Rams. Remember the Rams won the Super Bowl?
Oh my God,
they were 5-12.
They were a disaster.
Yeah.
That was when Dick Vermeil retired and that idiot Mike Martz took
No,
it.
I'm talking about their most recent Super Bowl, just a couple
I'm
years
sorry.
ago. Yeah. But
happened.
yeah,
It happened back then too.
it happened back then too. I mean, there's a reason why, this is pretty common. The Patriots, for all those Super Bowls they won, they only won back-to-back once. That was the year they beat the Eagles. That was their back-to-back. In 2004, 2003, 2004 was their only back-to-back. It's just hard. Guys are beat up. Guys are tired. Mailata looks like he's, running underwater. When he's trying to, people are going around him like he's not quick anymore. I think he probably is, but I also think that 21 games last year, I don't know what, I think they'll bounce back and I think they'll be okay, but they've got a lot of this edge rush thing and the corner thing opposite Mitchell is really, these are weaknesses they didn't have last year.
To Matt Berg, I think they need to get back to what got Hurts the dance, get him running on the move more. The Dallas game, he ran all over the place without hesitation and then threw a bomb to Dotson. The problem is that's the only thing this offense can do right now.
Right. So, and the other thing they need to do is get their running game.
Yep.
It's so weird. The first half Thursday night, they didn't run a lot, but they ran effectively, and then the second half, they couldn't run it at all.
Nope.
And it was like everybody just was gassed, like we were saying. I don't know.
What's not helping them, Les? Their starting position to start the game. Like whether they getting the ball like every 5, 10, the 15. Right. Like this is not a good start to football. Like
you'll see them get 3 first downs sometimes on drives, and they're at their own 40.
Yeah, right. I would take that. Most of the time, they're starting at the 10 or 15.
Oh, I mean, after the 3 first downs, they're at the 40. But yeah.
And Jalen was sharp to start the game in the first half. I thought
that's the thing. He had a perfect first half and then a terrible second half. And
I don't know what that's about, but all the pass catchers were targeted and production wise were there. You just mentioned Saquon. He rushed, I think, 3 times right off the bat on the first drive, right up the middle. Nothing fancy, no guard pulling, no misdirection, no nothing. And he had a very, very high average in the first half. And then you fall behind, and I think game script kind of hurt the running game in the second half because you got down and then Hurts threw the pick and then, you're not going to run it. Then A.J. Dillon fumbled as well, but the game was already over at that point. Mystic, I really don't want to put Coop back there again, but didn't we go out and bring in Covey again? It can't be any worse. Yeah, if Tank Bigsby is active on Sunday afternoon, that's where my patience level will begin to.
Well, I agree with you, but that's going to be tricky because didn't Howie give up 2 draft picks?
5th and 6th round pick.
Well, I mean, look, Howie's made a good living over the past couple years fleecing teams on trades.
Yeah.
All right. So the Jags got him.
Yep.
So instead of remember when the Arizona Cardinals picked Josh Rosen, I think 10th overall, and then they realized that he was a stiff and they were wrong, and they picked Kyler Murray 1st overall the next year. It's okay. Just don't double down.
Oh, I agree.
Don't double down. The guy, he gives you nothing in the run game. They're not even putting him out there. He's here to return kicks. I assume that's why they traded for him, because they seem to have no interest in putting him in the football game as a runner. And he can't catch kickoffs. I don't know if he's flustered by the rules or that it's different now that the guys line up a little different this year. I don't know what it is, but these guys dropping these kickoffs, it's certainly not a good start for an offense that we've been talking about for 6 weeks that hasn't been up to snuff, even though they're talented. And like Bob says, did you catch Nick's reaction on the one muff by Tank? I mean, I didn't. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's got to be frustrating.
He yelled a very bad word really loud.
Did it start with an F?
It did.
Okay. Well, good, because I yelled the same thing. I mean, and it's not just like it's every game with these guys back there. Every game. And like, I don't really put it on the coach. Like, I mean, do you really need to coach the guys? Like, just catch the football and run straight. If they don't kick it out of the end zone and you field the ball cleanly, like with how they line up these days, you're starting at the 30-yard line, no?
Yeah.
Like, then you get those 3 first downs you were talking about, Les. Then you're in Elliott range already.
Yes.
Now they're getting, you just alluded to it, and you're absolutely correct. Now they're getting 3 first downs, and they're at like the negative side of the 30-yard line. They still got to get 3 more first downs to get into field goal range. Like, something has to be done about the kick returns, because I mean, AJ Dillon and Tank Bigsby, they should be working at Walmart. They would not have been permitted on the team bus after the football game by Coach Rob Brinkman. Keely Ringo, who I hate as well. At least he gives you something covering kicks on special teams.
Yeah.
He had a really bad night.
He had a bad game because he's a stiff.
It's so early. Like, maybe he could be better. Like, he could play better, but like, there's nobody else out there. Like, I feel better throwing him out than whatever Adoree Jackson is going to give me. Because that one play in the red zone where Adoree just stood there and just let the guy in. Like, you might as well just like been a waiter and just like hold the door open for him. Like, that's exactly what that was.
Neither player is that great, and neither player.
Sure.
But
Fran Duffy said the Eagles are trying to get by with 2 fourth corners on the opposite side of Quignon, and that's really it. I mean, these are 2 guys that you don't want out there, really.
There's just, if you notice who got picked on when Quignon Mitchell left the game. Now, logic would state that the new guy off the bench is Adoree Jackson. That's who the Giants are probably going to pick on the majority of the game. They did not. They still picked on Keely Ringo.
Yeah.
Well, Adoree played for the Giants, and he played reasonably well for them, so I think they had some respect for him. Keely has all this physical ability, but I don't think he sees the game very well. I think his speed is all straight line speed. I don't think he's very nimble. And I swear to God, he'll try to commit a penalty on every snap. I mean, sometimes they don't call it, but he can't play without his hands on the guy, and it's
he's very handsy. He was that way in college. Like, that's just how he plays. But there's no other alternative. Like, your options right now are Ringo, who I feel best with right now, based on potential and everything and what he can give you, or Adoree's like broken behind that is just, I just don't feel comfortable throwing him out there. I'd rather see what I have him
do is put DeJean, and I don't want to do that.
I don't want to do that. Like, I rather have Ringo out there. I want DeJean where he needs to be.
Sidney Brown, it can be.
I don't.
There's a lot of, you have more options at nickel than you do, at outside corner. And if you're just going to get killed out there all day,
the only other option, Les, is Mac McWilliams. If you want to throw him out there and see what you have in him, but like,
the fact that they're not even activating in the last 2 games makes you think.
But that's it, Rob. You don't have options. Like, those are your 3 options right now.
Well, I'm against. I would be if a full deck, a full healthy deck. I'm against Cooper DeJean playing outside corner because he's so good in the slot.
Right.
Yep,
but you don't have a choice right now, especially if Q's out.
Yeah, if Q's out, they have
to. If Q's out, that's a different story. But like,
if he's not, even if it let the kid Mac Williams play the slot, Keely Ringo can be. I mean, Keely Ringo, he covers kick. I mean, he's got the straight line speed, like Les said, and he's physical, so he can play special teams. That's fine. And sit Adoree Jackson on the bench. And you got Coop, Q, and Mac McWilliams in the slot. Maybe Sidney Brown can play in the slot. I don't know.
I just don't think they feel comfortable like moving Coop out of his natural position. Like
no, they don't. But
normally I would agree with that, fellas. Normally I would agree with that. But
I don't want to play against anybody
one right now.
Adoree on one side and Kiwi on the other.
No, that's a massively bad matchup.
Yeah.
But you have to either hope that Ja'Cory Bennett is going to be your guy moving forward in the second half of the season, or you go out there and you trade for a veteran, a believable veteran. Can we stop with this?
With that. I mean,
stop with this Denzel Ward nonsense. That's not happening.
But we're asking a lot of the trade deadline here. It's really hard to find good value at the trade deadline, and you've got to get an edge rusher. So how much are you gonna trade away your whole draft next year to try to get a couple guys in here? I don't know.
I mean, you got a lot of assets.
It's a tough decision. It really is. And then what happens between now and November 4th is probably going to have a lot to do with that decision. I mean, I'm not going to, if they're trying to breathe life into a dying carcass in November, then don't make the trades and just move right along with whatever you need to do to get some good young talent in here, in the draft. But I don't anticipate that'll be the case.
I mean, you can't trade your first or second round pick.
No, I'm not doing that under no circumstances.
Because if the bottom does fall out, like 2023, like they're going to be good picks.
Yeah.
So you can't do that.
Like the only way I would need to get a guy that I feel so comfortable with, like a young stud moving forward. Like if I could go get Trayvon Walker, I might trade some high picks to go get him. Like,
but isn't he hurt now?
If I could get a Denzel Ward, I'd feel comfortable with that. But like, I'm not trading multiple firsts for Trayvon Walker, or not for Trey Hendrickson. You know what I mean?
Oh God, no.
Like I've seen people talk about that. Oh, you got to trade major picks for him. I'm like, I'm not doing that. Like if I could go and get like David Njoku at like a reasonable deal, I would do that. I would feel really comfortable having him in there. Whatever you can do to bolster up the pass rush, I'm all for it. But I'm not like emptying all the clips. Like that's just not happening. And I also don't want to unless I can go and get a corner that I feel better than what I have, I'm not going out to get one. Like just throwing out and getting a veteran who might be like slightly better doesn't really do me anything.
AJ Brown for Denzel Ward. Who says no?
I do.
Yeah. I mean,
for one thing, you can't do it.
Say about the only thing, I'm sick of hearing about AJ Brown.
I'm glad you brought this up. I'm glad you brought this up because you can't do it. You literally can't do it.
Yeah, but this is not real life. This is a podcast.
The salary cap prohibits you from doing it. I mean, you could never. I don't know how you'd get back in compliance with the cap this season, and you'd have a long-term obligation of like $80 million hanging over your head. It would be a disastrous move to trade AJ Brown this season. Now, after June 1st next year, which is what you hear a lot, when people actually, when you tell them bullshit, it's not going to happen, then you start hearing about, what the number is after June 1st next year. But we're a long way from after June 1st next year.
Let's just play make-believe. Are you sick of talking about AJ Brown like I am?
No.
But how much of it is really his fault? I mean, really. I mean, seriously.
They're having a run bad routes. That's not his fault.
If it were a feasible trade with the money, would you do it?
No, I wouldn't. I think he's a great player, and I think they just need to do a better job of using him.
Yes, 100%.
And I think a lot of somebody said this to me on social media. I feel like a lot of this is people trying to make T.O. happen.
Exactly.
And he's not T.O.
He's not T.O. until he starts doing sit-ups in the driveway, reading niche.
That business Thursday night, they just lost a game. They looked horrible. And he gets asked about this meeting several days earlier that he had with Barkley and Hurts. Well, obviously the meeting didn't accomplish much of anything. So he smiles and says, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know about any meeting.
What did
And
he
the
have?
headlines
He
are
had 6 for 80.
AJ Brown denies meeting.
But, like, he had 6 for 80 on Thursday.
Yeah, he was fine. I don't think he was upset about losing. I don't think he was, but people just don't know how to take him a lot of the time, I think. And people want to see controversy. They want to see, something's really wrong here and all that stuff. I don't know. I'm not there, maybe there is something wrong, but I honestly don't really see it. I think they're not doing a very good job of running an effective offense. No. I don't think Jalen is sharp when in crucial moments when he needs to be sharp late in games right now. And, if they beat the Vikings, I think everything will probably be all right.
Brings us to next week. So let's put a bow on the Giants game.
So It's done. It's dead. It's buried.
Days later, let's go around the panel. What is your panic meter on a scale of 1 to 10? 10 being this is 2023 and they're just cooked, and 1 being nothing's wrong at all.
Yeah, I'm probably a 5.
Yeah.
First of all, I'm not big on panic because it doesn't ever solve anything. If you panic, what are you gaining from that? Do I think this is 2023? I still don't, although I'm a lot less certain than I was a couple weeks ago. I just think there is a lot of talent. Unless more people get hurt real bad, I don't think they're going to just fall apart. I think they have good leadership. They've been through 2023. A lot of these guys have, and I think they learned some things from that. But I'm a little concerned. I mean, that was clearly they didn't. I know we just said we were going to stop talking about the Giants, but the Eagles went in there thinking, okay, finally, here's a team that isn't any good. We're so tired. Let's just win this and go home. And the Giants were like, we've been hearing for a year and a half about this damn Saquon Barkley thing, and you've been beating us, and it's been horrible, and we have this meme with our owner and all this, and we're gonna win this game. And I don't think the Eagles were set up for that at all.
No.
I think
they underestimated them.
No. But I don't think that the end of the world is at hand. I really don't. I don't think it should be. There's no good reason why it should be. So let's see. But I'd say 5. I'll go as high as 5.
I'm at a 4.
Okay.
I mean, last I looked, the Commanders were getting smoked on Monday Night Football by the Bears.
16-10.
What's that?
16-10 right now.
There's losing still?
Yes.
Okay. Dallas lost to Carolina yesterday. We still don't know what the heck is going on. And for as sexy as that win was for the Giants on Thursday, they're 2-4.
Yeah, no, I kept checking that in the final minutes because the way the announcers were talking, you would think that a juggernaut had just been unleashed on the National Football League.
Well, we'll see how Jackson Dart progresses.
Yeah.
I mean,
we'll see.
Could be. But, I mean, they did lose to the Saints in the game before the Eagles.
Yeah.
They didn't lose to the Saints. They lost to the Aints.
So, I mean, the division is like a little cloudy because the Eagles are struggling, but it's really not that cloudy.
Is it?
PY, you led the show by telling me that the Eagles were going to miss the playoffs
if they don't fire their offensive
coordinator. So which is it? And then you're a 4 on the panic meter.
I can feel. I'm allowed to feel multiple emotions. All right, I'm an emotional roller coaster. All right, this is me. All right, leave me alone.
It's kind of like his beard; it comes and goes.
It does exactly, Les. My beard, like my emotions, come and go as they please. All right. Well, I don't love.
So
Kevin
you're not
Patullo.
worried. The East isn't very good, but you're firing the offensive coordinator.
Yes, all those things, 100%.
All 3.
Yes.
Very inconsistent, but okay, that's fine.
Just like this passing game.
So they're going up to Minnesota, the land of lakes.
We're gonna kick Carson Wentz's ass.
I hope you're right about that. I guess there's a chance that JJ McCarthy could play.
It's looking like he might not play, and I'm 100% here for it.
The last I heard was McCarthy might practice in some fashion this week, which doesn't sound to me like they want to throw him out there, Sunday. And I think Wentz has played at least as well as McCarthy was playing, so I don't know. But I
honestly think the whole vibe, the whole quarterback vibe there in Minnesota, it was a polite benching of JJ.
Yes, that's 100% what it is.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, like your ankle's sore. Okay. It's like super sprain. You're going to be out a month and you're going to watch a guy who's at least been around the league.
Right.
Run the Kevin O'Connell offense.
My concern there would be Wentz can still throw if you leave him alone back there.
Yep.
If you just let him stand there and throw and give him all day to look over options and stuff. And the Eagles are perfectly capable of doing that.
Yes. JJ McCarthy, he's got to be scared, because he's feeling what we felt as Philadelphia Eagles fans watching the Wentz experience, where he does, oh my God, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen, to, oh my God, this is the worst thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Week after week after week.
Well, I don't think Carson's played great for them, but I think he's made some really good throws here and there. And, he can beat, if they're playing like they played against the Giants or in the second half against Denver, he can certainly beat them. They just they got to heat him up. They got to get the pass rush in there and, rattle him. And
he can't move like he used to. Literally,
right. That's exactly
this isn't
right.
Baker Mayfield. This isn't Bo Nix. This isn't Jackson Dart.
Right.
Well, two things that concern me are, we talked about the corner position.
And then we're going to watch Isaiah Rodgers Sunday.
Yeah, there we go.
We're going to watch Isaiah Rodgers. And I don't know if you guys know this, but the Minnesota Vikings have a pretty good receiver by the name of Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
I may have heard of him.
So if Quinion Mitchell doesn't play, watch out for him. And Les, as you just articulated, Carson Wentz is an okay quarterback when he has time, and the Eagles are certainly capable of giving opposing quarterbacks time. Because the pass rush, really the defensive line play, outside of some 30-minute spurts in some football games, hasn't been there. So, I mean, are we walking in? Are we walking to the tombs here in Minnesota?
I hope I hope Jalen Carter's okay and that'll get better. Nick made a point of gassing up Jalix Hunt again today, and Fangio did that in his last press conference. I think they're trying to get that guy. With Nolan Smith out, I think they really need Jalix Hunt to step up and be the guy he was in the playoffs last year, and he isn't. I mean, to me, he is not playing well at all in any phase, and they say he is, but I kind of think they're just trying to make that happen,
I just think they believe in him, as they should. He looked really well in the playoffs. It's still year 2. I think
I know.
It's too early to jump the gun on him. But what they're lucky,
he needs to be. He is their most talented pass rusher right now.
I would say Moro Jormo.
Yeah, that's another guy that all through training camp we heard about how he was going to bust out, and
he is their sack leader right now.
Yeah,
I mean does he really lead the team in sacks?
Yes, it's 2. Would you like to guess who's number 2?
Well, it was the guy that just.
It was Darius Smith.
Yeah.
And then Jordan Davis was having a pretty nice season. I don't think I heard his name once against the Giants.
No. But I just think everyone was bad. I don't think there was a great performance.
There really wasn't. No. Maybe
pass rush was bad.
Gene had to make 1 million tackles because guys were dropping into the secondary, but other than that, I didn't think Bond was great. I didn't think Campbell was great. It was just not a very good game. It was a very dull-edged game.
Yes.
I thought Makuba had a horrible miss. He didn't cover the guy he was supposed to cover.
Brinks, is he still all pro?
Maybe one day, but not right now.
Yeah.
Just throw it
He's
out.
a rookie. He looked like a rookie. And, that's going to happen.
And Campbell, I mean, he's been really good, but
that was his one bad game so far, which is I'm curious to see if they might throw him an edge a little bit, not a lot, and
I think that's something else they really don't want to do, along with moving DeJean.
I don't think so, but
Yeah.
I just think that maybe you might need a little. You might be desperate for pass rush, and it's possible you throw him out there, and you throw Dean out there. One thing I'm not doing, I'm not getting CJ Gardner-Johnson. It's dead.
Well,
it's buried.
He's on somebody's practice squad.
Yeah,
now.
he's on the Ravens practice squad.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not happening. Like,
No.
he's burnt that bridge to death. It's just not happening. Can we just?
I think if you have the possibility of things going bad, he's the last guy in the world you want.
It's a powder keg.
Yeah. Yeah. Nick talked today. Everything he kept over and over again, like a mantra, that he's looking for solutions, not looking to lay blame, which to me is trying to keep the locker room from pointing fingers.
That means everyone's arguing in the locker room. It's not good. So I did not hear that. I did not hear Nick's presser. What did he talk today?
3 times in 4 questions he worked in that he's looking for solutions and not to cast blame. So,
yeah, I usually listen to it, but I work today instead of being off.
So I don't think that means that guys are fighting in the locker room. I just think, like, after a loss like that, everyone is looking to put blame on someone. And rather than, like, going around and being like, well, it was Jalen's fault, it's AJ's fault, it's Zach Bond's fault. Like, he's trying to find solutions to what wasn't working.
It shouldn't be a discussion. This is why they have film sessions.
The thing I get tired of, though, with Nick is there's a way to answer questions where you at least acknowledge. You can say something like, well, moving forward, our offensive line has to be a lot more consistent and a lot more physical. And you're not singling anyone out or telling anybody anything that's we can't see ourselves, but at least you're acknowledging reality. And he won't even do stuff like that. I mean, it's like, we're going to keep all that in house.
Nick strikes me as the perfect coach to have when things are going really good.
Yeah.
But if things are going not good, he's not the greatest to have around.
I mean, isn't that untrue considering things were going pretty bad to start the season last year and he was able to right the ship? Like,
I have every confidence he's going to right the ship this year.
I just don't think he's great in press conferences. Like he doesn't talk. He doesn't talk like a normal head coach would. He's a team guy. Like he's a coach's kid. Like that's the way he talks. Like, everything's. He wants to take the blame on himself. He doesn't really want to throw anyone under the bus. That's just
like I said, there are ways to acknowledge your problems without throwing people under the bus.
Yeah, I just don't think he's.
He just says we don't want to talk about our problems.
Yeah,
and that's.
I just don't think he's great at illustrating that at times, and nothing is more true than like his first press conference. Like, he put his foot in his mouth, and that's kind of what he does from time to time. He's not as eloquent as he should be at times in press conferences, but he's also not Andy Reid, where it's like, well, guys, we're going to play better.
Well, Andy would do that on the podium, and I think he got his points across to the players behind the scenes. So he took the blame in public and looked like it was a buffoon sometimes at his press conferences, but behind closed doors, I mean, he's still in the league winning games. So whatever he's doing clearly works. And he still talks. He still talks the same at the Kansas City press conferences as he did at the Philadelphia press.
But it hits different now after we won, though. Everything hits different once you start winning. Yeah. Well, all the silly, stupid things that he's done over the years. Like once you start winning multiple Super Bowls, they're like, oh, classic.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, everything becomes like a quirk rather than a flaw. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Closing thoughts, PY.
We're gonna right the ship. I'm so proud, Rob. I want to actually say this. I'm very proud of you this week. Last week, you were high strung about what was going to happen with
last week because they should have won, and the
he did. I was expecting. I was expecting a lot of doom and gloom from you, and I'm very proud of you. You were the positive force this week. I was not expecting that.
When my patience goes, it's going to go, though.
That's what I said. I'm proud of you in this moment alone. Positive Rob. I could work with positive Rob.
Okay, Les, closing thought.
Yeah, I want to see the injury report this week. We're a ways from that still, but I don't like it. I want to see Jalen Carter out there, and I want to see Landon Dickerson better, and I want to, Quinyon Mitchell. Dear Lord, you just don't want to go out there without these guys against anybody, and if they do, it's going to be hard. It really is. We can talk about, Carson Wentz and all that stuff, but if the Eagles are still missing half of their good players, they're not going to go up there and have a lot of fun. So I think they can bounce back. I think that would be
Wednesday, correct, Les?
Wednesday will be the first injury report, and I keep those fingers crossed here because they really need to get some guys.
I'm just going to tell you right now, if Carson Wentz shreds the Eagles, I don't care who's out there, who's injured, who's playing. If Carson Wentz shreds the Eagles, I will not be so tolerant next Monday night.
Fair, yeah.
That's fair. Honestly, if a bunch of guys are injured, we just talked about it. Like Carson's good when he has time. The Eagles don't have a pass rush. They have one of the best receivers in the league in Justin Jefferson, and the Eagles don't have a viable outside corner right now, pending the health of Quinyon Mitchell.
Yeah.
So on paper, it's not looking, but I do think the Eagles. I think they right the ship somehow, some way. I think they right the ship. I think it's a big key that this football game is not at home.
Yeah, you think that's good? Yeah.
I think it's very good.
You're getting into Nick Castellanos territory here, Rob.
Because I'm one of them that's down there, not every game, but most of the games. And after a loss like that, especially to New York, where they're not very good and haven't been very good, and you kind of got your tail kicked, the first play that the fans don't approve of, the Boo Birds are going to come out.
True, without question.
True, yeah.
And Nick and Jalen have proven time and time again in the past that they don't respond well to that. So I think that it's a big advantage for this struggling offense to be on the road this week.
That's a decent thought, yeah. Although I could do without them, without Tyler Steen having to turn around every snap to tap the center.
Yeah, I mean, it's Minnesota though. They're Midwest Yokos out there. Like they're not. They're tough. They're tough when they come in and put the Rocky Vikings jersey on the Rocky statue and then get hit in the mouth. But they're harmless. They might be a little loud, but you can shut them up quick if you start.
Without question.
And get up, and then, I mean, if you are able to get a pass rush on Carson, he's proven time and time again that he will panic and make
throw it away.
Awful decisions.
Yes, he will.
Throw it to the other team. Yes.
Or did fumble. I mean, he does.
Yes.
He does something.
Yes,
That's why he's the first quarterback in NFL history I saw that started a game for 6 different teams in 6 different years.
I didn't know that.
It's insane.
Maybe I don't have it quite right because I didn't pin it on Twitter, but it's something like that. And they're gonna have to get it done this weekend through hell or high water. I think they will, and then they'll be 5-2. They'll be in first place by at least 2 games by my math, right?
And they'll have a chance to wreak their revenge upon the Giants.
Yes.
In a few Sundays at Lincoln Financial Field.
Yes.
So fingers crossed, Godspeed that we are talking about a win this time next Monday.
Give me the W.
For Les Bowen, Peter Young, I'm Rob Brinkman. This was Eagles Talk. Peace out, everybody.
Yes. Take care.